of Waterman. He's been in the spotlight for both right and wrong reasons. Comments about huge bills, some people coming out, some customers coming out to complain that the bills have been inflated. But that aside, there have also been constant water outages in different places. What explains all this? Well, he joins me this morning. Good to have you, and a very good morning.
Good morning, Simon.
There's just too much here that you brought for us. But straight, there are quite a number of complaints. Since we posted last evening that we'll be hosting you, there's been one constant complaint. Inflated bills. What explains the new trend? Did you increase tariffs? And how are you taking in the complaints from customers, aggrieved customers?
Well, Simon, it's good you are asking this, and I want to greet our viewers. The water bills, we definitely did not increase bills. We've not increased the water bills for over a long time of operation. We only index our tariff to just keep its purchasing power, to conserve its purchasing power. Because, Simon, as you know, we need inputs to be able to produce water and give it to the people. We need chemicals, which we have to buy under the influence of foreign exchange. So when you have movements in the foreign exchange, and you also have issues of inflation, where we know that inflation has not been changing so much here, you have issues of power adjustments. If you keep your tariff constant, then you have an issue.
While I understand all these issues that you've often referred to, the uproar is unprecedented. There must be something odd happening.
No. I think we've constantly been carrying out a customer satisfaction survey, and I can tell you on that particular element of water bills, I think our level of satisfaction is about 80. So we have about 20% who are not as satisfied as others, but it's not a big issue. Now, Simon, on the public standpipe, I can tell you a jerrycan of water is 25 shillings per jerrycan. 25 shillings. On a domestic consumer, like you and me, a jerrycan is 100 shillings per jerrycan. The same applies to institutions. Then on the industrial tariff, our wealth creators here, the tariff is about 58 shillings per jerrycan. And our cost of production, the cost of producing water is about 72 shillings per jerrycan. So clearly, the low-income people are charged less than the production costs. The industries and our wealth creators, we charge them below the production cost. So, but in order to sustain the operation of the corporation, we have to charge other people slightly high and other people slightly low, so that there is that cross-subsidy mechanism. So, just imagine 100 shillings per jerrycan. Go to those places where there is no pipe to water. You will see.
No, but look, engineer, have you made a diagnosis of where this anger that is very, very eminent on social media is coming from?
The customers actually don't complain about, I don't think they are specific on the rate. They are specific on the bill. A water bill is the rate times consumption. So when we investigate most of the people who are complaining, the issue is actually not the tariff. The issue is the consumption. The consumption. They are customers, very good friends of ours who have complained on social media, and we have taken trouble to go and check what is happening. And what did we find out? The toilet is leaking, there's an underground leakage, there is this. So there is a lot of work that customers can do within their premises to keep the consumption.
So you blame it on lack of due diligence on the part of the customer?
Lack of due diligence, poor workmanship of how the pipe work was done inside the houses. And I think that's where a lot of attention should be put. And that is not the work of the corporation, that's the work of the consumer.
There is a very interesting question. We chose to make this more of a Q&A so that you pick feedback from your customers out there. Someone is asking, what explains the rampant disconnections? They read meters between 22nd to 24th, send the bill by 26th to 28th. Before first coming month, they have disconnected. This solution to the zero balance campaign is barbaric. Do you agree?
I don't. Our system is better than the system of the power, because power is prepaid. When your credit is finished, you have no power. That's how it works. So for us, at least we allow you to consume our water in credit for a month. And we are saying, when you have taken a month consuming our water without paying, when a month ends, you pay.
But it's
That's
rude
what it is.
to disconnect a customer.
How about a prepaid?
For not going back to zero balance?
Are you on prepaid meter for power?
Yes, I am.
When the unit is the credit is finished, do you stay with power? The power goes off. You have to pay first before you get the power.
So you want to suggest you want to suggest that you're more lenient?
We are more lenient. Our system is more lenient. At least it allows you to consume power for a whole month or even two without paying. And when we come to disconnect you, or when we first alert you, by the way, that please pay, because SMSs come. But because people are used to this water, it should be free, they don't pay. So we are struggling with the mindset. Otherwise, the institution needs, remember, at the end of the month, Umeme is asking me to pay for power. So if you have not paid your bill, and yet I used Umeme to give you water, and Umeme is asking me to pay, where do you want me to get the money from?
You're looking at, I think there is selective leniency. You're looking at an ordinary customer whom you disconnect over maybe 100,000. Yet big agencies like police and prisons owe you billions.
We recently disconnected police. We recently disconnected prisons. Are you aware?
Yes, over billions. The bill for prisons had risen to 18 billion.
Yes.
That accumulation.
Yes. For your information, government is one of the best payers. Every quarter, government pays. Because those institutions you are talking about are paid for by government, Ministry of Finance. Government has been paying. The only issue that is there is that they have been paying slightly less than what they are consuming. So, I don't think the accumulation of bills for Uganda police, for prisons and whatever, should be the reason why you and me should consume water and you don't want to pay because the other people, two wrongs don't make it right.
No, okay. There is a sense that you go hard on ordinary customers and then spare government institutions. We don't
go hard on other people and go simple on others. We disconnected the hospital the other time. You remember?
Naguru.
We disconnected Naguru. One time we disconnected Monago. It was terrible. It was terrible. Recently we disconnected Rosira prisons. And the prisoners had no water. You can imagine that situation.
You sound very unapologetic about it.
Yes, we are not unapologetic. We are not apologetic simply because when I give water to Uganda prisons and the month ends, Umeme asks me to pay for the power I used. So if they have not paid, well, how do you want me to operate the institution? So the message out there is, if you consume water, please pay your bills.
Okay. Do you want to look at prisons and police in isolation, or there is a bigger problem with government institutions when it comes to defaulting or paying late?
I don't know how often I should, for how long I should explain to you. I've told you government pays. Every quarter they pay. They have a budget. The only issue which is there is that they have budgeted less than what they are consuming. And ordinarily, that increases their bills. Simon, we bill government about 6 to 7 billion every month. If the government was not paying for, say, 20 years, how much would be the arrears? But now, the arrears stand at about 95. 95 if you divide by
95 billion.
95 billion, yes. It's a problem to us. But this is on top of them trying to pay every quarter, but paying less than what they have consumed. And this is the issue we are discussing.
So the burden is now being shifted to an ordinary customer?
No. By the way, for your information, non-government consumers owe us total 116 billion. 116 billion. Government owes us 95. So who is owing us more among those two?
But look.
So for us, we are addressing the issue of people, whether government or non-government, consuming our bills and they don't pay.
Who in their senses would consider disconnecting a prison? You know how tragic it can be.
You are sympathetic to prisoners. How about Monago? What situation are we dealing with, Kagwanja? Are you trying to say that people should consume water and they don't pay?
Does it border on reluctance to pay in time?
Well, you're asking me a question which should be asked to those people who are not paying.
At what point would you consider disconnecting a government entity?
At any time. At any time. Like, for example, do you know what triggered the disconnection of police, disconnection of prisons? They gave them money, and one of them wrote a letter to us saying that he wants to observe the consumption. The money was given in July. They wanted to observe the consumption in August and September. So they were holding on the money, which was not even enough to clear the areas they had. So we said, you've been given the money, you pay it and clear the areas you have. And there was reluctance there. This mindset of we are government to government, and therefore I can afford not to pay. So we said, no, let's disconnect. And by the way, we did that after consultation. I had to consult the Attorney General, asked him, how is it possible that a government institution can consume water, go into areas, they get money, and they don't want to pay? So we did our consultations, and we disconnected, and I think we are now working slightly better than the way we used to work before.
So these are rude awakenings, because normally when you disconnect after a week, you reconnect. Does it mean that the bills were cleared or you reached a settlement?
We reached an agreement with those institutions and Ministry of Finance. And we are observing that agreement we reached, how it is being implemented. And I think so far so good.
Well, when you launched the Katosi project, there was this assumption that water shortages would be no more.
Yes.
But lately, the taps have been running dry. Is there a problem with your systems?
No. Simon, you need to understand the concept of Katosi and how it connects into the entire system of Kampala, water system of Kampala. Katosi, first of all, in the entire supply chain for water, you have production, you have transmission, you have distribution. These three must add up in order for a consumer to get what?
Water.
To get water. So what we have done now, we have solved the problem of production. So we have sufficient water. We have solved the problem of transmission. So water is in the reservoirs. We have not solved the problem of distributing it to the what? To the people. We signed a contract recently of about 93 million euros. That's a lot of money, over 300 billion, with a contractor who is going now to solve the problem of distribution. So this,
You have enough water in the reservoirs?
We have enough water at the production site. We have enough water on the transmission reservoir side. We don't have a conveyor system to pick it from there and take it to the customers. So that is what we are dealing with, and very effectively. And I want to thank the government who has provided the funding, because it's the responsibility of government to provide the funding. If that money was to be provided through a tariff to the customers, the complaints would even be much higher. Simon, you know, I have the recent tariff survey for 2024. If you look at cities that have managed to sustain their supply without getting money from government, you'll be very surprised how their tariff levels compare with the tariff level of Kampala. Some cities, their tariff goes up to 3.5 US dollars per unit. Kampala's tariff is hardly $1 per unit, the water tariff. So because of this, we have to continue to work with the government to see how these huge projects like Katosi, like the transmission project, like the distribution projects, which are huge, can continue to be financed by government. And that's why I continue to thank government, because they have been consistent in giving us resources to finance those big projects.
In your place, you say water is affordable.
Yes.
The custom on the other side says water is exorbitantly priced.
Yes. That's now, we need to discuss that. Our water is 25 shillings per jerrycan. 25 liters of water costs 25 shillings, meaning 1 shilling per liter of water to the low-income consumer.
On average, how much would the household
No, let's go slow. Let's go slow, because you see, we don't want to just talk like this. 1 shilling per 1 liter of what? Of water. How much is mineral water?
1,000.
1,000. So a liter, and that's half a liter, is it? Is it half a liter or a liter?
300 milliliters.
300. So a liter is how much? A liter is how much? 3,000. Compared to 1 shilling for what? For water. So is that affordable or is it not affordable? That's for low income. Then domestic, 100 shillings per jerrycan, meaning that it is 4 shillings per what? Per liter. Or 4 or 5 shillings per liter. Do you compare 5 shillings with 3,000 per liter of mineral water? We can go on and on. I want you to tell me how much is beer, for example, which people take every day. If people are taking beer and they are saying it's not expensive, why are you saying water is expensive? Both beer and water require inputs to produce them.
Ordinarily, it sounds, when you break it down, it sounds affordable.
Yes.
But when the bill comes, it reads differently.
In
your estimate, how much would, for instance, an ordinary home consume a month?
An ordinary home, our calculation of an average home is about 100 to 150,000
a month.
A month, yes.
Isn't that on a high?
If you see your bill is beyond that, either you are connected to sewage, because when you are connected to sewage, it means your water bill will have to be increased by 75%. Or you are consuming too much water. You need to check your system. Check your tanks. Maybe they leak, they overflow at night. Check your internal system. Maybe there is an underground leakage. Check the way they are using water when you leave home. Maybe your house assistants at home, they use water exorbitantly. There are people, when they are washing clothes, they open a tap and it continues to run until they finish washing clothes. So is that poor water practice a business of national water, or it's a business of the consumer? I think we should be blamed for having not raised enough awareness to the consumers. So for the consumers who are looking at us, your water bill is the multiplicative effect of the rate tariff times the consumption. So if your consumption, and by the way, the consumption is not because of meters. Simon, let me tell you, these meters you see, which we have there, they are under-registering. They are cheating us. They are cheating us. Did you know that all our houses, be it in Kampala, be it everywhere, we have overhead tanks?
Yes.
You know it?
Yes.
Did you know that when you wake up at night and flush your toilet, that water which flows through the tank is not registered by the meter? Do you know how many people flush toilets in Uganda here at night?
So who tampers with your meters?
They don't have to tamper with the meters. Are all manufactured in such a way that at low flows, they don't register.
So meters are cheating you?
They are cheating the corporation. Now, on top of cheating the corporation,
on top of the burden of the huge bill you want meters now to be.
You get that cheated water and you don't want to pay for it. And you want to continue to say, I should give it to you 24/7. How would I manage? And on top of that, every end of the month, URA wants its VAT paid. They want Umeme wants its power paid. The chemical suppliers want their supplies paid. So how do you want us to operate?
How costly is managing water in Uganda?
Well, as I've told you, it is quite costly because water utility management is a heavy input oriented service. You have to put in inputs. We are not institutions like banks or maybe even NSSF or what, whose work is to get money and see how to manage it well. For us, the business is different. We need pipes, we need chemicals, we need power, we need staff. All these things cost money.
Do you enjoy any subsidies as a government entity?
We enjoy investment subsidies. Investment subsidies. The government gives us money simply because they have conditioned us to keep the tariff low. We cannot raise our tariff to cost recovery level. Because if people are complaining at the level at which it is, you can imagine it if it increased. You would be very surprised, by the way, if I gave you these tables, these tariffs, and you see how they compare. Do you see how bars are long here?
How is Uganda ranked here?
Uganda, Kampala, they captured cities, and they captured Kampala here. Kampala is $1 per unit of water, on average. $1. If you see London,
What constitutes a unit for the benefit of our viewers?
A unit is 50 jerrycans of water. 50 jerrycans of water cost $1. London, 50 jerrycans of water cost $3.5. 3.5. So when I looked at this, I tried to discern the trends. It is actually communist-oriented cities that charge low. It is these Middle East cities where there is oil is flowing, so the state is able to subsidize the tariff. But here, we don't get subsidies.
So the prospect of lowering water tariffs is almost out of the picture.
You know, I think that is why undeveloped countries will continue to be more undeveloped, because we tend to follow policies that should keep us in that vicious cycle of poverty. You cannot provide a service that requires price inputs, and then you are saying you want to provide it free of charge, unless you have a subsidy even on the operational side of things, which does not, the law that governs operations of national water does not allow it to be subsidized on the operational side of things.
Well, as we take a very short break, someone here is asking, why is there no constant supply of water at Mawanda Road for almost a year now?
Mawanda Road would be a surprising report, because Mawanda Road should be properly supplied. I would advise that customer to contact our nearest branch or even contact our customer call center, and we should be able to check what is happening. But just for your information, this project which we have just signed is also meant to rationalize water supply for places like Nansana, places like Gayaza Road, places like Kawempe, all those places. So, but we need to check that, and we see if the lack of water is systemic there, and therefore it needs this project which we have started, or if it's a localized problem.
Well, for a while you've been pushing this water for all theme, but apparently it looks as if it's water for the privileged nowadays.
And yes, and that's the problem. That's the lacuna we are trying to cure. That's the lacuna. The water for all is meant to take water from the privileged to the underprivileged. And the way it will work is for us to ask these people who have water, the privileged ones, to subsidize investments for us to take water to the underprivileged.
So water for all is only a dream?
No, it's not a dream. We've done quite a lot, Simon. We've done quite a lot. I have statistics here. Since 10 years ago, 2014, we've been able to now increase the towns we are serving from 110 to 276. 276. We've been able to increase people served from 4.5 million to 19 million. We now serve 19 million.
Yeah, but you both serve in towns when Nansana, which is just close here,
Nansana is covered. The issue with Nansana is
Kajansi. There is a part of Kajansi, Nakauka to be precise, doesn't have water.
You are talking of Nakauka. Maybe you have already seen what we are trying to do. We are going to already put a water treatment plant in Nakauka to serve both Nakauka and also bring some of the water to Entebbe. So between Entebbe and Kampala, for your information, we have a water supply challenge. The pipes are there, but the water is not there. So we want to put a water treatment plant in Nakauka, supply Nakauka, and also now boost water supply on this corridor between Entebbe and Kampala. So we are able to do that, sometimes with our own resources, because customers get our water and pay for it.
So towns in close proximity to the big tanks are not served.
In close proximity to what?
Nansana, Nakauka, the areas that I've mentioned.
No, Nakauka and Nansana are different. Nansana has pipes, but the water in the pipes is not enough. And the solution is what I've told you, the project which we have just signed. Nakauka has water. It is currently it is not under national, but it has water also. It has water.
People are fetching water from springs.
The Ministry of Water has put a system there. The issue might be it is not widespread, and we are seeing how to increase coverage there. And how shall we do it? We are not going to do it by going to church and praying. It's going to be done because we've supplied people with water. They have paid, and we have developed capacity to give more people water.
Well, we'll take a very short break, and when we return, Dr. Mugisha will be telling us what the future looks like for National Water and Sewerage Corporation while he's at the helm. Good morning. Welcome back. Still having a conversation with the MD of National Water and Sewerage Corporation about how things are playing out within the realm of the entity that he heads. But well, there's something you said that left me a little intrigued. There are quite a number of areas, both accrued from government institutions and utility and consumers, domestic consumers. Are you running a loss-making entity?
Well, that's a very interesting question, Simon. The accounts, I'm an engineer, as you know. I'm not a financial expert. But the way we prepare accounts, and I'm sure everywhere else, we use accrual system of accounting, meaning that revenue is recognized at invoicing stage. So we have recently finished our financial statements, which have been approved by the board and audited with the unmodified determination. And we have actually found out that our surplus has increased a bit. Now, so we are not making losses, just for your information. We have increased our surplus, call it profit. The business people like calling it profit. We don't like calling it profit because that's not our calling. We've increased our surplus. In other words, money available for us to invest to expand water to more people.
You're making money.
We've increased our surplus, but this is on accrual basis, meaning that on cash basis, this would not be like this. If government was paying, of course, the situation, what this would mean is the results of our financial statements would mean that we would have more capacity to increase water to our consumers. So we've not made losses, but our cash flow, our cash flow statement would have looked better if government.
Yeah, but with arrears now rising,
yeah,
do you imagine things can only get worse
I've told
before
you,
they get better?
I've told you we have had a very positive engagement with Ministry of Finance and all other institutions, and the status now is that we are good to go. Already the Ministry of Finance is preparing payment of some significant amount out of these arrears. The arrears owed to us by non-government institutions is not so bad because it's not more than 3 months debt age. So we're not doing badly on the non-government side. If me and you could honor our bills on time, the situation would of course be much better. So
why would it take constant back and forth engagement between National Water and the Ministry of Finance to remind them to pay?
Well,
are they just reluctant, or there's a big problem?
We still live in a country where money is scarce, and I think everywhere else money is scarce. So you cannot avoid this back and forth interaction with somebody who is supposed to pay, because he doesn't have enough money. You also don't have enough money to pay for your...
Someone consumes to the tune of billions, and you have to go begging them to pay you. That's how outrageous it sounds.
I think that's quite normal. And we are not the only ones who engage people that owe us. We are also engaged, by the way, because we also consume people's services and we need to pay for them. But we don't pay them on time because we don't have enough what?
Okay,
enough
you
money.
haggle with government to pay you.
Yeah.
But for an ordinary consumer, you just have to strangle them.
No. There's no strangling. There's no strangling.
You are literally strangling us.
We don't strangle. You see, Simon, we only come to you after we've given you a notification that you've consumed this, please pay. Now, we don't come for you because we don't want to be at war with our consumers. The only thing that we are requesting our customers to do is to develop this mindset that when you consume water, please pay. And the good thing, Simon, our payment system is very convenient. You can pay your bill through the phone. You can pay your bill through the bank. You don't have to come to us to pay your bill. The payment system, the e-payment system has been made easy. You can go to your phone. When you look at the pay options, National Water is there. Lately,
social media is awash with pictures of water from your taps that's very dirty.
Yes. No. We saw that, especially in the places of Bunga.
Yes.
And there was an issue there, especially when we had closed water as a result of Umeme doing maintenance on every time Umeme wants to do maintenance on their substations, we take that opportunity to also do preventive maintenance of our production systems. Now, when we finished, the pipe system had taken time without water. So when we put in water, there was that mixing up with unflashed materials in the pipes. It's an incident we regretted so much, and I think it's an incident.
So there are questions about the safety of your water.
It wasn't unsafe at all, because remember our water has residual chlorine in it. So it's not unsafe, but it is aesthetically, optics, it doesn't look nice. And it's not a service we would wish to offer to our consumers. But our people were very quick, even at night, to move in and correct that. And what happened can happen anywhere in the world. It can happen anywhere in the world.
Even Kauku, there was recently we saw there was.
That's why I said Bunga Kauku, that area. You see, Simon, the way our pipes are done, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. So when they go where they go down, we put washouts. So we put washouts because these washouts are supposed to be regularly opened so that the residues can do what? Can go out. So it so happened that in that system, we had taken time to open the what? The washout. And we do regret that incident. And we cleared it very fast.
Well, you said there are plans to improve on distribution. Could you break it down for us? What does it entail? Which areas are going to benefit from this and in the short and long?
So that's a technical question, by the way. The way the system for Kampala is designed, we have Gaba 1, Gaba 2, Gaba 3. At Gaba there, we have 3 sets of water treatment plants. Gaba 1, which is somewhere there in the island. Then you have Chiruba Island, it's called Chiruba Island. Then you closer here, you have Gaba 2 and Gaba 3 there. That treatment plant pumps water primarily to Muyenga, and then Muyenga distributes to all the high-level areas in the entire Kampala, by the way. Then part of it comes to Naguru to find the water which comes from Katosi, and part of it comes to Ganhir, plot 2, Ganhir. There is an underground, huge underground tank there. Now, the current situation, because the distribution system from the Katosi system is not enough, you still have the Gaba system still overstretched, Muyenga system. So when we do, the way we have designed the distribution system now, we're going to put a reservoir at Kanyanya. We have already acquired land on top there, so that water can come from Seta. We have a huge reservoir in Seta. It can now come and be boosted to Kanyanya Reservoir. We're going to put another reservoir at Kaburengwa. And between all that is going to be, we're going to enlarge the pipes to lay more new big pipes so that the conveyor system from Sonde Reservoir, Seta, from Naguru Reservoir, from now the new reservoir we want to put at Kanyanya, the new reservoir we want to put at Kaburengwa, there is a huge conveyor system that takes water to the what? To the people. Because Simon, you are not an engineer, is it?
No, I'm not.
You are not.
I'm not.
The way water flows with pressure is if you have a large pipe diameter. If it is a small pipe diameter, then the water flows, the losses as the water flows are very high. So even if there is a lot of water in Naguru and the pipe diameter is not enough to reach your place, it will not be able to reach you. You have the pipe, but the water cannot reach. So we are going to enlarge the what? The pipes, so that the carrying capacity of the pipe can be increased and the pressure loss along the pipe can also be reduced. And that's how we are going to solve that problem. And once we solve that problem of northeastern Kampala, if we solve that one very well from the Katosi system, then we shall reduce the catchment for the Gaba system. And then we shall increase now water for the southwestern part of Kampala.
Does this have a timeline?
Yes, within 2 years that should be done. So for now, we are going to suffer with a little bit of rationing, but after that system, we shall have sufficient supply to the consumers. And on top of that, we have planned to even increase the capacity of Katosi, because Katosi is now 160 million liters of water per day. We are utilizing about 52% of that without an improved distribution system. So if we improve the distribution system, it means the capacity utilization for Katosi will go up. If it goes up, then we run a problem or a situation of demand outstripping supply. Because right now, supply is much more than what?
Demand.
The demand. Although part of demand is suppressed because of the insufficient capacity of the distribution network. So if we remove those bottlenecks, what in engineering they call hydraulic bottlenecks, and the water reaches customers in big quantities, we are likely to have a supply problem in Katosi. So Katosi is 160 cubic liters of water per day, million liters of water per day, but the intake is 240 million liters of water per day. So we have planned in the next 4 or 5 years to increase Katosi from 160 million liters of water per day to 240. And that should be able to cater for the water needs for Kampala.
So while you plan for all these amenities and improvements, should customers brace for more water outages during this period?
No. The situation is not going to get worse because Gaba, we also have issues of water pumps in Gaba, some breakdowns, but within the next 2 or 3 months, we have ordered for about 4 pumps, new pumps. So the production efficiency for Gaba is going to improve in the next 2 or 3 months, and that should give us headroom to wait for the new project, the distribution project we have launched.
You would love to hear some of the comments being raised. Someone here says, these guys don't even reach most meters to read. They sit in their offices and imagine the bill. Sometime back, I was given an abnormal bill of 120,000. When we recorded the figure on the screen, and at the end of the recorded again, the bill for that month became only 27,000.
Those are incidences I regret. Incidences where our people sit somewhere and imagine meter readings are incidences which are not tolerable in the organization. And I want to encourage customers that whenever you have such incidences, please report them to us, and we're going to resolve them like the way we resolved that one.
But you agree there are incidences of imaginary bills?
Yes, because meters are read by human beings, by Ugandans. I did not produce those Ugandans. They were produced by you and the other one. And we have many incidences where we do punish staff for laziness, staff for negligence, and this might be one of the issues we deal with.
Raymond says national water staff came to Kungu in Chira municipality and cut down a newly tarmacked community road to put a pipe to 3 houses that paid them. When asked to repair it, they said residents should complain to the MD. Residents are planning to strike against National Water for damages caused.
No, I don't believe in extreme behaviors. When we cut a pipe, it is our duty. When we cut a road, it is our duty to reinstate the road. Now, by the time our people say they should complain to the MD, it means there is something not going right there. And I get so many of such issues from our customers, and we do respond because we have ready teams to carry out road reinstatements. I cannot say we cannot cut roads. Roads will be cut, just like those roads, when they are being made, they also cut our pipes. So there is a lot of interaction between water operations and road works. But I don't support the idea that our own staff failed to do their work of reporting such cases to people who are supposed to reinstate their roads, and they say customers
they refer them to you.
They refer them to the MD. It is an issue which I have discussed with my people through some town halling with my people. They are not going to be pushing things to the MD. It doesn't work like that. Fortunately, those are isolated incidences. They are not as many.
Then someone here says, Salim Joseph says, talk about Entebbe Road here, it's terrible. I stay in Chitende, we have water once a month or so for years now. I have a friend in Accra, Weba, same issue. What's wrong with Entebbe Road?
As I said, the corridor between Entebbe and Kampala, I mean Chitende, Kajansi, all that place, we have a water supply problem. It is one of the areas where demand is much, much higher than supply. So we are working on boosting supply, production, water production. We are already working with Danida, or Danish Business Finance. We have a project of about 145 million euros, which is going to put a huge treatment plant there. Just like we did Katosi, we're also going to put another one there. But that might take a little bit of time. So as a corporation, we are going to put a treatment plant, a reasonably big one, about 20 million liters of water per day in Nakauka. We already, I think we have already got a place. We are going to put a new treatment plant there, which will solve that problem in the meantime, as we wait for the bigger project which we are working on with Danish Business Finance.
Your customer from Arua says your water is very dirty, and he has already raised it with you, and there's no response.
No. In Arua,
you connect Arua?
In Arua, there's an area manager called Jessica. I want to advise that customer to go to our office and talk to our area manager called Jessica. We are quite very much, we've built that resilience, managerial resistance to manage such incidences. If the water is dirty, we are there. That's why we are there. Our water quality teams are there. Our technical teams are there to respond to such incidences. What I cannot promise our customers is that such incidences will never occur. Because water by nature, it flows and it has those impurities, they settle, they are supposed to be flushed. So sometimes there can be irregularities in flushing. But what is key, I think, to error is human, is when such incidences happen, they should be reported to us and our staff should respond. We've told our staff, you must respond to customer complaints timely.
Well, someone else is asking, what does it take to work with National Water?
It takes anything like any other institution. You have to, the positions must be available, and when they are available, we have a human resource manual that enable allows us to be able to recruit.
Yeah, but this comes against a backdrop of allegations that there's a lot of nepotism.
There's a lot of nepotism
in National Water.
What do you mean?
That you employ relatives and clansmen.
You want me to go area by area? I tell you the area managers and where they come from. The area manager of Kampala is called Mahmoud Rutai. Is he a Westerner? The area manager of Jinja is called Dr. Charles Okwonzi. Is he a Westerner? The area manager of Tororo is called Okero something. Is he a Westerner? The area manager of Soroti is called Ebwat. Ebwat, is he a Westerner? So what are you talking about?
Where are these allegations coming from?
I mean, you cannot stop people from alleging. I think what is important is when they allege, you try to find out what is happening.
Could there be a brewing fight within the National Water Authority?
No. There's no brewing fight. There's no brewing. We work very, very well as
all these allegations, tribalism, you're being accused of.
I think because where is tribalism? The MD, okay, is me. My deputy is called Amayo Johnson from West Nile, where you say there's a problem. So I would actually encourage those people to call their son of the soil, Engineer Johnson Amayo. That's where he comes from, Terego. Okay? Our senior director of finance is called Owot Francis. Where is that? From Guru. Our head of internal audit is called Prosa Kech from Tororo. Do you know our peer, head of peer? Apeder. Is he from Western? So you need to look at these things and see.
Well, I must really thank you as we sign out. Will things get any better for National Water, or you're becoming immune, or you're developing a thick skin towards complaints that are always popping?
No.
Same complaints, different day.
I have our projections. Simon, in the next 10 years, National Water would have grown from 276 towns to 417 towns in the next 10 years. Water for all. We are now serving 19 million. This population would have grown 32. Minimum. We now have a network length of 23,000. This network length would have increased to over 30,000 kilometers. More people what? More people serving. So the future is quite bright. We only have to deal with these challenges of non-payment of bills, because the only way we shall achieve our strategic direction is if people pay for the water they have got.
Well, that brings us to the end. That's all we had for you this morning with the ND, National Water and Sewerage Corporation. Apparently, the solution to inflated bills: check your taps, check your pipes. Good morning.